Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Residents in Harbour Heights in Harborview expressed their dissatisfaction over the deplorable condition of the main road leading to the community.
And we have to take dirt and dump it, so when we dump it with the dirt, you wash down the road and block the main. So if them fix the road, that will happen down there, so it won't happen. So as long as they don't fix the road, that's so down there, so will stay. We can't live with that. Nothing can drive off of the main with no food and come give the people at the place. We lock off of the country. Nobody not see we, nobody not drive in and say what. The police can come in and want so. And the place will stay good. So we want the MP and the Prime Minister, the whole of them to come. A long time we don't see them face. What them there, them hide.
Water man, the hurricane and water continue coming in and on drain for running and them things there. They keep on digging in and inside of the surface itself, underneath the surface, and the mining the surface and them things.
Affect me bad because I take the longer way to reach my house. Yeah, and it costs me.
Everybody pass, I see the main right there, so everybody can see what's taking place and what's happening. And the pipe there, if you see the pipe was burst from about 3 days water running, but it repaired yesterday and then now, then lack off, no water in the community right now.
I'm fed up, tired.
It need proper drainage. If they just come and dump it up like what they do last year or part of this year, it's same thing happen again. It need engineering, you know, engineering work. It will continue happening.
The community, after it was dump it up last year, they make some vehicle could pass, but this year no grace come and just run off the dirt and work it worse, get it worse.
That's all we see them do come round with one little package, say them give one pound of rice and half pound of cornmeal. That not no use to people. Then the government come tell people say if it can their yard for 3-4 days. What people are going to eat? The rain come and flood out my house. And everything in my house flood out and I have to sweep out water. I don't see nobody come like nobody not recognize we here so. We want somebody to come talk for we and recognize if we go to the House of Parliament and make the MP and the Prime Minister know say them people will live here so they not get no assistance from nobody.
Nobody, even when the water bus, are the same people, them have to fix it. Water Commission never come. You're tired of this, it needs to be fixed, yeah. It needs to be fixed. From last year, nobody.
Car crash, man held after leading cops on chase during no movement day. A man who led police on high-speed chase is now in police custody after the vehicle he was driving crashed and overturned in Portmore, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 4:30 p.m. on Monday, the man was seen traveling on the road, a day regarded as no movement day by local authorities. Reports are that the driver reached a police checkpoint at the Nugget section of Portmore and reportedly tried to elude a team of police officers when he was signaled to stop. Police sources reported that the driver refused and led the police on a high-speed chase but was later held after he lost control of the vehicle and crashed. He was taken to a medical facility to get treatment and later placed in custody. Police have since issued a call to motorists to follow rules and regulations when traveling on the road. Jamaican woman gets 6 months in U.S. prison for immigrant marriage fraud. A Jamaican woman was sentenced to 6 months in the United States prison last Thursday for arranging fraudulent marriages in a bid to help non-U.S. citizens receive U.S. immigration benefits, including lawful permanent residency in that country. According to a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for District of Connecticut, Jodian Stevenson, also known as Jodian Garden, 37 of Bridgeport, Connecticut, pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit immigration marriage fraud on August 19, 2019. Following her sentencing hearing, she was released on a U.S. $250,000 bond and is required to report to prison on October 25th. Her jail term is to be followed by 3 years of supervised release, and she also faces the likelihood of immigration proceedings being brought against her. Stevenson operated Stevenson Immigration and Legal Services, LLC in Bridgeport, Connecticut, according to court documents and statements. The U.S. Attorney's Office alleged that between 2011 and 2017, Stevenson conspired with others to arrange 28 sham marriages between U.S. citizens and non-citizens residing in the U.S. for the purpose of the non-citizens applying for and obtaining lawful permanent residency (LPR) status, also known as green card. One of those sham marriages, according to the release, was between Stevenson, who is a citizen of Jamaica, and a United States citizen. For each of the other 27 fraudulent marriages, Stevenson found and introduced a U.S. citizen to a non-citizen purported spouse and helped the couple obtain a marriage license, stated the U.S. Attorney's Office. Further, the Jamaican American organized the marriage ceremonies and celebrations, as well as coached the couples on how to make their marriage appear to be genuine, despite them neither living together nor otherwise intended to remain actually married. Added the U.S. Attorney's Office, as part of this scheme, Stevenson prepared several immigration documents needed as part of the non-citizen's LPR application. She had the applicant and spouse sign the documents and, in many cases, mailed the documents to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service immigration authorities for the applicant. While preparing the immigration document, the Jamaica-born woman or her assistant prepared many false documents for the couples, including a false lease that purported the couple as living together. As part of the modus operandi of the scam, Stevenson would typically charge between US $17,000 and US $20,000 to complete this process for a non-citizen, while the citizen spouse received between US $2,000 and $4,000 for his or her participation, the U.S. Attorney's Office shared. In detailing a case that led to the eventual arrest of the Jamaican, U.S. authorities said that she offered to arrange a sham marriage for a federal law enforcement agent working in an undercover capacity to help obtain a green card in exchange for US $20,000. Stevenson, in recorded conversations, reportedly introduced the agent to a U.S. citizen and advised them about the ways they could create the appearance that they were validly married and living together as husband and wife, the release stated. Following a probe, Stevenson was arrested on June 22, 2018 and charged. She subsequently pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit immigration fraud a year later. In the meantime, 10 persons, including citizens of the United States, who entered into one or more fraudulent marriages with non-citizens, have been charged with related offenses relative to investigations into Stevenson's fraudulent marriage scheme. 8 of those individuals have pleaded guilty, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, adding that removal proceedings have been or are being commenced against all individuals whose green card applications were found to have been based on sham marriages. The investigations are being conducted by Homeland Security Investigations (HSI) and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Office of Fraud Detection and National Security. Rockhouse Foundation piloting expansion of Savannah Larmar Inclusive Infant Academy. The proposed expansion of the Savannah Larmar Inclusive Infant Academy in Westmoreland to a fully inclusive early childhood, primary and secondary school will assist in providing access to higher education for children with disabilities. This inclusive model of a mixed ability special needs early childhood institution seeks to address the demand of these specialized services in rural communities. Rockhouse Foundation President Peter Rose stated that the school's expansion is critical in ensuring that children continue to receive specialized educational support to enable them to make a smooth transition to higher education. There is no other school like this in the public sector in Jamaica. If we provide specialized education for children at the infant level and then send them on their way to just any school, then all the progress that they made in their early years will be lost over time, he noted. Against this background, Rose added it is imperative for us to make this approach straight through to the high school. This, he maintained, in order that children can get the full benefit throughout their educational career below the tertiary level, the therapies that they require, and the quality of instruction that all children deserve. Noting that the school's expansion will require additional qualified teachers and specialists, Rose says the school is actively engaged in recruiting these professionals. Highlighting the deficit of qualified specialists locally, Rose said the foundation has forged a partnership with Howard University in the United States to provide professional development training and practicums for teachers to increase the competence of personnel in these specialized areas. It is intended that out of the partnership will emerge established online degree programs for these disciplines. This is our vision, not just for the Savannah Larmar Infant Academy, but schools throughout the country, thereby amplifying what we are doing at this one location and have its impact throughout the island, he said. Noting that inclusive education creates an environment that enables diverse students to learn side by side in the same classroom, Rose stated that the foundation aims to assist in transforming learning spaces to provide critical support for all youngsters. There are 166 students ages 3 to 6 currently enrolled at the institution. Class sizes are limited to 20 pupils and each being managed by a main teacher, an assistant teacher, and a caregiver. The school caters to regular learners as well as children with physical and developmental needs. What we do is full inclusion, and that means there is no pull out of children with special needs. They are side by side with typical learners, and in that way, those children with special needs and the children who are typical learners have a much more enriched educational experience, he emphasized. The Savannah Larmar Infant Academy was established in 2017 by the Rockhouse Foundation in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and the Roman Catholic Church in Jamaica, among other local and international partners. It is Jamaica's first public educational institution that caters to students with and without disabilities. Since 2004, the foundation has invested more than US $6 million in building, expanding and renovating 7 public schools and the community library in Negril, Westmoreland. Residents complain about flooding condition in Frome.
Here is here, so we having peer flooding. There's nobody come here, come visit us, come take no inspect, clean the JNM. The JNM need to clean. See there, this is our house. We have nowhere to sleep, nowhere to stay tonight. Me and my kids and my family, them, all of us flood out here. No one come here, come visit us and come clean the JNM, and there's nothing. We need help in Frome. We need help in Frome. We need it. We are somebody too. Not because what's still for all, but everywhere is other place flooding out and people are going around and visit them. We don't get any visit from no one. No one.
How is the water affecting you?
Well, the water is affecting me very often because the least rainfall, we have to fret. The least rainfall, we have to fret. So it affects me very often. When we come on for rain time down here, so we have to fret because we don't live anywhere. We don't live anywhere. We don't have no council, nobody come around and come visit us or help us. We need help down here. We're well in need of it. We're well in need of it. We're well in need of it because see there, nobody come and visit us. We don't have any house to stay tonight. We don't have nowhere to sleep. We're in need of the help, please.
This situation could be averted. This is long been coming. And no matter we talk to the council and tell about it, it's like you see nobody live around here. As you can see now, the water is streaming. All those people down there, it's impossible. See the water? See that? Look, they are streaming through this pass. It's just thing up here. You understand me? I spoke to the councillor long before now. Nobody comes on here and look at anything. This is what happens all the time. Everybody is affected. Everyone is affected.
Police Federation boss says cops feel disrespected as there were no provisions for food on lockdown days. Jamaican rank and file members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF are hopping mad that there was no provision made for them to be able to purchase meals while on duty during lockdown days. And the leadership of the Jamaica Police Federation, which represents the rank and file, is fuming, claiming that both Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson and National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang have been made aware of the situation. According to the chairman of the Police Federation, Corporal Ron James, the problem is island-wide. Nothing has been put in place, James said Tuesday afternoon when asked by reporters whether the tuck shop/canteen at the various police stations were closed on lockdown days. The fact of the matter is that we have reached out to Commissioner Anderson and the Minister Chang, and we're awaiting their response because we are not satisfied, said the upset Federation boss. James said the matter was brought to their superiors on Sunday at the start of the second to 2 or 3 days lockdown aimed at curbing the spread of the COVID-19 on the island. From Sunday, we have brought this matter and we were told that it would go to Cabinet on Monday, and up to today, Tuesday, at this time nothing has been put in place. According to James, the expectation of the cops on duty is that the authorities would make arrangements with the various restaurants for them to provide meals. We cannot have a lockdown and police officers are performing duties and cannot access anything to eat. This is unacceptable. This is something that should be put in place for operational efficiency. You cannot have hungry police officers out there, and the audacity is that you expect police officers who are out there enforcing the law to incur additional costs at the state's expense, James declared. To add insult to injury, he said when police personnel turn up at popular fast food chain, they are not being served. They are being disrespected, and I am going to instruct my officers not to use these facilities. We should embark on a boycott of the facility. That is the extent to which I am prepared to go to encourage them and their families not to use their facilities, James stated. He fumed that it was embarrassing to say the least that operational orders are being done, and they include nothing but the welfare and well-being of the men and women on duty. James reported that in such a situation, morale among the membership was low as they feel their work and worth are not valued by the state. He said the same thing happened during the previous 3 days lockdown period, which ran from August 22nd to 24. He also said he was being bombarded with calls from the membership and was now getting irritated about the situation since the matter has been brought to the appropriate authorities. The Federation chairman said he will be having a meeting with the Security Minister on Wednesday and will let him know in no uncertain terms the level of transversity and that has been meted out to the men and women of the JCF. You cannot treat police so, he concluded. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.